Let's talk a little about taking your pet to the veterinarian, because this can be a real stressful time for everybody. Realizing you wouldn't let your kids jump from the front seat to the back seat as you're driving down the road, so you really shouldn't let your pet loose in the car either. This is a potential hazard not only for them as well as for the people involved. Realizing, as is explained to me one time, if you stop doing 60 miles an hour and your dog hits you in the back of the head, it would be like a 30, 40 pound toolbox hitting you in the back of the head. You potentially are going to die from your own pet if it doesn't kill them also. So it's very important to strap them down, have some type of restraint. Ideally, you need to have them in a carrier so that you can control their movement on that. Now, as we get bigger, it's a lot harder to do that, but they make some very nice seat belts for dogs. Is restrictive, understand, and sometimes that's hard because you may have a dog that wants to jump back and forth. But just imagine what that's going to be like if you were in a bad situation, the dog's jumping back and forth and hampering your driving abilities there. So get a carrier, make sure you've got it strapped down, and protect them. Another important part is taking your cat to the veterinarian. Very different scenario. One of the things you have to understand about cats is they have a very sensitive equilibrium. That's what allows cats to fall from a high distance and right themselves. This same equilibrium is why your cat yowls most of the time when you go to the veterinarian or to the groomer or wherever you're driving them, because you take a cat that's moving at a slow speed and now take it up to 60 miles an hour, it messes with their mind. So you do not want to put your cat up in a position that they're seeing the cars zoom by, they're seeing the landscape zoom by. Actually, the best thing you can do is put your cat in the floorboards of the car, cover up the carrier where they can't see anything. They may be able to see you, but they're not seeing everything else. If you've ever had motion sickness, you realize that when you get sick is when you see two objects moving against each other. And that's exactly what's going to make the cat sick. Now, there's actually some really great products out there right now that also help in this process. A product called Feel Away, which actually is a pheromone, and what it is it's a calming agent for the cat. It also works very well for cats that like to mark their territory. So if they're used to backing up to the wall and spraying, what it does is, I always say, it makes a lover out of a fighter, because to back up and spray is a very aggressive type thing in the cat world. What you'll find when you use the Feel Away, a lot of times they will still mark the wall, but they use their chin gland, which is a loving gland. A lot of times the cats will come up and nuzzle you. They're loving you and they're marking you at the same time. But by using the Feel Away, it's very calming. So if you spray down the carrier with the Feel Away long before you put the cat in there, spray it down again right before you go, and spray your car down. This is very calming. Just recently moved two cats about 6 hours. These two cats, both of them will yowl going to the veterinarian. We put Feel Away in the cage and that, and we had 2 meows in 6 hours is all we heard. So totally different effect on that. So take advantage of that. Make sure you cover them. Quite honest with you, I have a lot of my cat clients bring them in pillowcases with a knot tied in them, and the cat's happier than watching the scenery go by at 60 miles an hour.